Hello, I'm Brian Johnson, and we're back for another episode, Better Cocktails at Home. Now, in January here, we're doing kind of back to basics. I just wanted to kind of really focus in on the things that really good cocktails require to be done right to get a good result. And so, yeah, I think it's always a good time to kind of remind yourself of, like, even if you've been doing cocktails a long time or you're brand new to it, right? Remind yourself kind of why you're doing it, how you do it, that kind of stuff. It just kind of takes a moment to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm doing it right. So this episode, I want to look at stirring, which is a very essential technique for cocktails. So why do we stir a cocktail? Well, stirring a cocktail, reasons are it integrates the ingredients together. When we add ice, it chills the cocktail, right? Makes it kind of that, gives it the drops temperature. At the same time we're doing that, we're adding water, so we're diluting the cocktail. And those are, I would say, the three main things, is mixing, chilling, and then diluting, adding water to it. Now, so that's why we're doing it. Now, when do we stir a cocktail, right? It's important to remember this. Generally, you're going to stir a cocktail when all the ingredients are clear. So things, if it's not a clear ingredient like, say, citrus or a milk or a cream, those you can't really see through them. They're cloudy, they're opaque. Obviously, if something is like a really dark brown spirit, like maybe it's not clear, but technically it kind of is clear. So it's kind of a weird rule, but that's sort of the rule of thumb. Obviously, like as you make cocktails and you get into it, you can kind of break that rule, bend that rule when you want to for certain things. But in general, that's when you would stir a cocktail. And stirring should be a nice, easy motion. So I have a sample cocktail here. This is a Manhattan. So we've got it all measured out. I'm going to add some ice to our mixing glass. All right, we've got ice. So now, bar spoons, really helpful for stirring. So generally you're going to want to take the bowl of the spoon, right, the curve here, put it against the wall of your mixing glass and kind of rotate it as you rotate the thing. So it's sort of rotating as it goes around. And that kind of leads to, you can stir quickly and also quietly, right? So if I don't turn the spoon as I do it, it's kind of not as smooth a motion and you're using more of your arm, right? Versus my arm is still and my fingers are doing almost all the work. So that's kind of the technique I've used for over a decade. And it just allows you to kind of have a nice, quick, efficient stir. You can even stir 2 cocktails at once, 2 different mixing glasses. You want to stir, generally, I'll say 30 to 40 seconds, probably more towards 40 seconds, just to kind of really get that cocktail chilled, right? That's kind of the biggest thing, is I think taking the time to get the cocktail cold enough to be served properly. So obviously, as a newer bartender, you can, you don't have to stir super fast. It's not a race. Obviously, as you get more efficient, you're probably just going to go faster because it's easy to do and you can stir pretty quickly. And you'll see as you're making your cocktails, you'll see that the glass will start to frost. And you'll get some of that condensation forming. That's how you kind of know you're getting towards the right temperature. All right, I'm gonna guess that's pretty close to where we want it. And obviously, as you get more experience, you could want a cocktail that's a little warmer, a little colder. You're gonna have to kind of tailor it to your preferences. And so at this point, we're gonna strain it, right? And so this is where you're gonna see that it is, basically we didn't add any air to it. So the product we're pouring out of this is very, very clear, very smooth. And that's kind of that like silky feel you want with a stirred cocktail. So that's how you stir a cocktail, when to stir a cocktail, why to stir the cocktail. It's a very important technique, and I love to know if you have a different way of stirring cocktails. Super interesting to know about that. But that's Better Cocktails at Home. We'll be back with more episodes on how to get started with your home bar and all the techniques and tools around it. So we're going to see you next time.